And welcome back to our continued coverage of the Agora tournament series. This set between the Professors and Slime's Temp. Game 1 goes the way of the Professors. 27 minutes is what it took for them to get that victory scream. We're going to quickly check in with the bracket, and you can see our second semi-final is set up. TOS versus Team Immune. What a hype matchup available. But for now, we still have to keep with the Professors versus Slime's Temp Tuner. So we've got a draft coming up here as well. What do you think we need to change for these two teams?
Honestly, in terms of what we're seeing, I think the professors did a great job. I think they keep up the hard work, keep up what they're doing. I think I want to see Slime's Temp, break the mold of this 2-0 day we're having. Every team that's won has been 2-0. I'm not quite sure how big of a fan am I of that, but I want to see them find their footing here in a stronger draft. I think they let a lot go. I think Gideon's fine. I love it, taking that away from the team fight. But I want to see a clear direction and more follow through. We talked about how they kept it together last game a little bit after as they fell apart a bit towards the beginning, and they had some really good plays. They had some really good find and trying to get their footholds there. After that, they kind of fell apart, and they can't afford that. They need to have multiple avenues to continue.
Yeah, because one thing we've been able to see from the Professors is not only can they weather that storm, but they're also starting to dictate that tempo a lot more as well. As we said, this game felt a lot more controlled and a lot more measured from the side of the Professors throughout this game here. And one thing to really help with that tempo was actually getting this Gideon pick going to be going their way once again. Slime's Temp, though, one happy to take away this Muriel.
Yeah, Muriel is just so crazy here, and there's a bit of an error in the beginning here where the Gideon was on the wrong side. Professors picked the Gideon. Now they're still drafting towards this team fight with a bit more aggression in the early game. Where this feels a bit more early to mid game with the Rampage ganks and the Grux kind of doing his thing in the side lane. I do like this draft more so from the side of Slide Temps. I want to see what they pick for their mid laner. I'm curious.
It is a very good spot here because I feel like, especially with something like the mid lane role in itself, is like, well, the counters are still available right now, but you have the full composition you're going into. So this opens up more opportunities for other mid laners that you probably can't take higher up, but you can leave till last. The Fae, we're making her first appearance of the playoff matches between these two teams, and we want some team fighting. That fly trap, pretty nasty.
Yeah. I don't. You guys can't see me in chat, but I'm smiling like an idiot right now because I love this Faye pick here. Faye's become such a great team fighter. I say become. That's what her kid's based around. But has become so prominent after this last patch and just does so much good work here. I love this choice from Slime Temps to get away from the more pick heavy comp, to get away from how they were doing it before and really set up for what feels like a clear win condition. The problem with that pick comp from the last game is it's so hit or miss. It's so you have to play carefully. You have to do what you have to take every opportunity. It's so much trickier to pull off than just a straight up 5v5 team fight comp.
Yeah, hang on. We've got first action over on that duo side. It's going to be first blood going the way of Survivor. And the Professors wanting to start game 2 off as they finished game number 1. That duo side expects a lot of action going over there this time, but that looked like an isolated 2 versus 2.
It was. Rampage was just getting done his red buff over to his 2 camp. It looked like, from what I saw, unless I wasn't finished the minimap that much in that point. However, they were certainly in an isolated 2v2, and I think, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that either they stepped up a little too far. Oh, we have this view. She started Q. Muriel started Q here. And that's, like I said last game, I don't like it. Because when you play against other teams that they're doing the pick from the Narbash and the trading from the Murdoch, the auto shock on auto, right? If he's got his trap down, he can put a trap on. Like, you want that extra shield to stay alive. And, okay.
Action over to the left-hand side. The gank coming in from the Crunch. And the Crunch likes to punch. So it goes down. It's going to be at least a trade back. 1 kill a piece now for both teams, and a river buff. Nice to pick up on the way
that
out
was
as
the
well.
most aggressive blink I've ever seen out of Six. I love, like, Six is an animal to play with. He is so good at this game. and just watching him blink forward with the absolute confidence of "you leave when I tell you to leave." First off, was phenomenal. Holy hell, that was great. I love it. I love the team fight. But yeah, like again, this comes down to this early game to ability selection, what you're picking to scale first, itemization, and whatnot. I think the Muriel Drago have a really good chance of winning that 1-on-1, 2-on-2 early, rather, if she takes her consecrated ground or even alacrity. I think that does a really, really good job of securing that a bit more. And I think that Temps, or Slime Temps rather, did a good job of trading across map and getting an extra kill. Sure, they gave up first blood, but they got something back. Not the worst in the world. I want to see how they progress from here.
Because as we said from the previous game as well with this Drongo, is that the Drongo is gonna come online, right? The Drongo is a ticking time bomb. There will come a time when the Drongo is online. It's not right now, but it will happen. It is inevitable that it will happen.
Yes, just like our Lord Thanos, he's inevitable, and that kind of kicks in around 2 to 3 items. Here's a massive spike for most AD carries. Drongo even more so, because at about 2 to 3 items, he's got a maxed out rad rounds most likely, along with almost maxed out. Oh, we got to fight here.
There's going to be the blink, and there's going to be a point blank boulder, the funk as well, the CC layering.
You know what we missed that first time? You know what we missed that first time with the first death of Muriel? She burned her blink. We didn't know that. Her blink was on cooldown, 2-minute cooldown still. That was being tracked, right? That was a
very good spot. Very good spot. And also, kudos to the professors for punishing that as well, because Mura's got no mobility outside that ultimate, and I don't see a level 6 right now. But what I do see is a crunch going for yet another gank onto the solo side, and this time over towards the XP camp, and it's going to be a little bit of a ring around the rosies before we can go here. But the first dash is not going to find the target. Still got the upcut available, but there's just so much damage being pumped out by the crunch, by the Sevarog.
This is so much better. This is so much better from Slime, because now they've now shown us that they have a dedicated strong and weak lane of the map. They are choosing 6 to get them ahead. They're choosing their off lane rather to get them ahead to have that late game scaling and potential. And they're saying, you know what, our dual lane's falling behind. You need to absorb pressure, sit back, and be careful. Right? Wait till we get Muriel's level 6 so we can have global presence, global team fighting. We need to sit back, and we're going to focus on around most likely the mini primes and vision there. We see Faye rotating over right now with 1 ward in her pocket, 2 minutes till the next, peeking and getting some information here. Most likely going to place a ward and or gank Guru.
Actually, Guru.
Yeah.
My word. This is, you can tell what the game plan is. The fly trap pulls Guru straight back into this one. 6.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Another pick.
Did 6 just sprint in here to take the kill last minute? Six is trolling. That's mean. That's rude.
Some words are definitely being said in the text chat right now about that one. But that is a yoink if ever I've seen one. 6 going to be very happy with that one. But
that's a level 2 Muriel, level 3 into a level 5 Murdoch. Oh my god, this is awful. You are, oh no, you are not gonna have a good game as Muriel. You're gonna have a slow level 6. Probably won't hit it to about 12 minutes at this rate. What was a big wave? Maybe I'm a little off, but I have to reiterate.
But it's going to be for these fights though, because you can see we are limited by the vision that Slime's Temp have, and the professors punish it. They're going to get a completely uncontested fang sweep on the right-hand side, and dare I say that first 2v2 kill on the left-hand side is starting to really punish. 6 is going to go onto the Rampage, and look as these fists connect. The amount of damage being able to be pumped into that Rampage, who has ult available. Nice. The rock goes onto the Faye, kind of the fade away, but there's going to be a blink. The follow-up from the Rampage uses the Gideon portal to get to safety. You gotta love to see those interactions.
Yeah, that was a fun play to watch. I didn't realize 6 was a level ahead. That
was probably the stolen, secured kill over on that right hand side, just ticking over that XP,
or even just the taxiing XP from the lane too.
I was gonna say I could just see 6 just still looming on red side jungle as well.
Yeah, I mean. I'll say it again. Six is a monster. He is so good at this game. He's so intelligent when he plays. I've had the fortune to play with him in scrims and pugs, and even in solo queue, and he is an animal when it comes to what he wants to do. His decisiveness. They're gonna want to play through this, and right now play through their off lane. That's gonna be the main goal here. Sorry, Mercy. Sorry, Drongo, but you're gonna go scale for a bit. You're gonna sit in your corner, and then you can join us in a minute.
Absolutely, you gotta let the other characters get involved first. Keep farming up. I mean, that's gotta be the game plan here for Slime Sims, right? Especially because we're still waiting on that reversal of fortune to come online. It looks like though, with the river buff spawning here, members have been missing on the map for a while. That right hand side, you can see Soul Reaper going over to secure the right hand side river buff, and this could actually be a really good indication for us right now as spectators as to what side Soul Reaper feels more confident on. You can kind of infer here, but Six just seems to want to go where they please here. There are wards. Soul Reaper was immediately aware of that situation here. But as you said, Tuna, this is playing around these mini prime sides, and with how far ahead Six and the Severog are, this might be a winning fight.
Yeah, I mean, here we have Faye with her ulti up. Grux, keep saying Grux. Oh my god, Crunch, the robot.
Who likes to punch?
He likes to punch. Is
Also
doing
likes
such a
to take
great
meat.
job. They get it. They relieve Crunch. Now Crunch has this. I think they can go back in here. Gideon's ulti's down. Even though Grux is coming in here with the Rampage ulti up, they might be able to do something.
Yeah, Colossal Blow was used on, but he whiffs the blink, though. Six is going to be caught out here, and a bit of a shutdown going away. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and now Seismic trying to get some damage down. Very low HP with Soul Reaper, but Soul Reaper does get out alive, and his screen is not going to be great. The finest of margins, but the Professor's answer back.
Yeah, I love to see. I thought Crunch maybe had something there. I'm like, all right, maybe see something that I don't. Again, he's better at this here than I am. He's better at the role than I am. So I definitely can see a world where he sees an in to turn that fight. But that's not worth it at all. You tank all the damage from Mini. You have it. You're out. You probably should have just left. Honestly, at that point. And again, maybe he saw something I didn't. I don't know.
It did seem a little bit disjointed because the Colossal Blow was used to actually get the ulting Rampage away from the backline, and Six jumps on the Rampage. So maybe getting a bit of their wires crossed at that point. It's like, are we disengaging? Are we engaging? But granted, we can only infer as to what we see here as well. But I don't think the Professors will be too concerned with that spot, all considered. 12 minutes in. First brick has not been secured by either team right now. Just that one Fangtooth and the mini prime are the only objectives here for now. But the game, again, feels like we are in this, not lull state, but we are in a balancing act right now. The Professors did find that Haymaker punch last time, and they're looking for a return, though, as IDOC is in the left-hand side jungle. Six is over there to at least show the counter gun. They're trying to take away some of this jungle as well, but it is going to be in full view. So that's a good steal.
No, I didn't steal it. It was the proc from her support.
Oh, okay. I got excited there, like, let's go! But
I did too for a second, but it acted in proc her support item.
I mean, hey, let's go support proc item.
Woo, support! Yay! I love my role.
Say it with more enthusiasm next time. I'll be a bit more believable.
I refuse. No, it's cute. It's a good time. I think as we're looking here, as we're approaching mid game, as laning phase breaks down, as we start to look for more and more team fights. Oh, okay.
That's a good chunk here. It looks like Soul Reaper's going to go for the follow-up, but Six follows straight the way. The black hole comes out as well, but it's going to be interrupted, and Soul Reaper just takes the full combo from Crunch. Six gets a kill onto the mid laner. The Fangtooth was started up. Murdoch is going to be a little bit caught out here. IDOC as well. Crazy Fool in the middle as well. The phase here. The fly trap going down. Survivor has got one pick onto Tron. At least the smite comes down. I think IDOC was able to secure it at least, but now kills flying either way as the members of Slime Temp stuck in this pit, but Six re-enters the fray. Massive knockup, massive damage, a blink away from Crazy Fool, but the follow-up from Kaiser is there to secure 3 kills, and the Fangtooth go the way of Slime Temp.
This is first brick on both sides, and a rotation for vision after this is what they're going to do here. This is beautifully done. They lost the Fangtooth, but they got this beautiful fight off, and Six fulfilled his job. We've seen the replay in the corner there as Six dives into the back line to put pressure to peel off for the Fae. If you are Crunch, if you are a diving hero, that is your job. That is what you are responsible for. You need to put pressure down and create. That's called creating space for those of you who are new to MOBAs. What he did was he created space for the Fae to operate and work and do her damage, as well as Drago.
See, and the Drongo more than happy to oblige. That was a blink forward onto Kaiser to confirm that kill as well.
Yeah, that killer instincts.
He's quite literally there. You know, as a Drongo, we talked about this character becoming online. You do have to take these kills where you can get them at least. But for now, Slime's Temp, are definitely still remaining in this one. The Professors have been relatively nullified, playing through the right-hand side. It does look like Reversal of Fortune is looking like Tron was caught out there. I try and sing the praises, but unfortunately I end up caster cursing Tron there. There's a sorry was able to pick up that one. Right-hand side, Colossal Blow once again.
Yeah, this duo lane seems to be a weak spot for the team of Slime, in this series at least. The positioning here not very good. Positioning and pathing is what you have to be worried about here as a Muriel who is doing her best here to support the team, keep them alive.
Faye had 40 HP and kind of just like flew around, kind of vibing under the tower here. Still under attack. Soul Reaper is behind the tower, now starting to tank it as well. An ability does come off here, but actually I think Narbash was taking it just a little bit too long. The kill credit does go the way of Seismic at least, and the tier 1 tower remains alive. I'm not overly sure how that actually transpired. Caster, by the way.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to do something controversial. I'm going to get flamed in chat for this one. I'm going to defend the Faye here. Faye's dead. Faye's dead regardless. At that point, she put herself in a position to be dove by those 3 members. Honestly, staying under the tower is the best hope she has of surviving with the incoming damage from it. Leaving the tower range is an insta-kill. I'm assuming Gideon still had portal at that point. Rampage has his jump. You're dead. You shouldn't be in that position in the first place. Don't let it happen. Since she was already in that position, she has nowhere else to go. So you might as well stay and try and trade something. And she stalled them out long enough, like you said, where Muriel's able to come in, hold off the tower. So they didn't lose a tower. It's 2 towers to 1, I believe. Yeah, only 1 going down the duo lane for Slime. Holding this off, they made the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, I am just getting a little bit concerned here as during that monologue, you saw Six over getting that wall down on the right-hand side. I'm going to have to talk about that later on, though, as Soul Reaper's going to go on to Seismic K Crazy Four waiting on the other side, and 3 members just pinch around. Survivor, more than happy to pick up that kill. Six around to the right-hand side once again. The dive comes onto the Grux once more, but members are at least around in the vicinity, so I think Six wants to go back to farming. But what I want to say there is that Six... with Slime Temps is they're starting to maybe encroach a little bit too much, as Six actually was forced to blink. Got that ward down very deep inside the right-hand side jungle, but they weren't really able to use it, and it cost resources there. Mini Prime, uncontested, going away at the Professors. They start to, once again, get a bit of a stranglehold of this game.
They're kind of diving the offlane right now with the mid, getting that second tower. They're just kind of deathballing at this point. It's not a bad strategy. Not a great one. I think you can, now that's freeing up pressure on the left-hand side to get vision control of the Fangtooth for that third one to stop basically at this point, massive snowball from the side of Professors. But I don't, Muriel plays the words, okay. I was watching the crunch, I wasn't watching the Muriel at one point. This is a lot of positioning errors from the side of Slime. They don't seem to know where to go. It seems like Faye's a little lost in her pathing, taking the less optimal routes, maybe not warding as efficiently as she should be. And it's a really hard skill. Positioning, pathing, effective warding. It's not as easy for a lot of players as one would think, because they're not complex. They're just not easy, right? Simple and easy are 2 different things. And so we're looking at this, and it seems like they're trying to figure out where to stand. A Six just boxes Gideon. Cool.
Once again, you can just tell that Soul Reaper did not sign up for this 1v1 for the World Heavyweight Champion of Agora at this point. It's not what they wanted. But What they do want, though, is
It
that
is
Fangtooth. It does spawn down. The wards are in position, at least for both of these sides. A 5v5 is going to be brewing, and this one has got a lot of explosivity. As the Fade's going to throw down the Bramble Patch into that very
Drongo.
narrow catch here. It's going to be a blink away. The stun coming out at least. Meteors raining down from either side, but no team really hard committing just yet. The fight trap did go down. The cooldown was used, but there wasn't really any meaningful follow-up. IDOC will once again walk into the Bramble Patches, very low HP.
Oh,
And
there it
Sun's
is.
very well. Giddy's going to get dive on, but straight into the black hole. The wombo combo, the ultimate, a reversal of fortune, but will it be enough? It doesn't look like it. 6 goes down, and the members of the Professors want to claim each of these members. The long arm of the law takes down the carry. It's only Severog, it's only Faye left. The Fangtooth will surely belong to the Professors outside of a steal from the Severog. It wasn't to be.
I want to break down that team fight. That was.
I will let you.
Thank you, sir.
More than welcome.
What the Professors did really well there was what Slime did well in a couple of fights in the last game, in splitting up the front line and the back line. While Six and Severog, I forget the Severog on top of my head. I'm sorry, I'm trolling. Hi, professional caster. Were busy fighting the enemy backline. There was no one left to peel or defend for the Drongo or the Fae, right? So then Muriel has to step up, and she's not a mid lane, or mid line. I want to say a mid line support. She's not Narbash. She needs to go between the front and the back. She should be far in the back, right? Yeah. Which leaves your backline exposed. Which means professors saw this and went, "Oh, that's mine," and took him. Like it's unfortunate. But it seems to be a miscommunication or mixed signals from the team itself that's leading to this, right? And before that fight kicked off, it was 9-9 in kills, and now it's shifting in the way, at least in terms of kills itself, in the favor of Professors. That we need to see cleaner team fights from the side of Slimes, right? They've got a better poke comp in terms of the Muriel, in terms of the Fae, in terms of the boomerang coming out from Drongo, right? Soften them a little bit. They don't have Narbash is not a tank, and if you get tainted, neither is Rampage. Like,
the truth.
So you really have to worry about the Grux and the dive. But if you let them come into you and just poke them and kite them back some more, then you have a much better chance of winning this team fight. Absolutely. You don't need to commit.
Yeah, you did see that at the start of that Fangtooth there, as Slime's Temp were more than happy to just keep the Professors at arm's length. It just, as you say, just something went wrong. Like, maybe someone just went in just a little bit too far. Again, there's only so much we can infer by just watching that game, but something didn't click, and the entire gear mechanism fell apart there, because both frontliners go down, and that's just a welcome path to target the Fae, target the Drongo, which Slime's Temp up until that fight had done a very good job of actually keeping them alive.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And just this, they're crouching here for the Orb Prime now, and Fae's on the other side of the map. This is guaranteed for Professors unless Crunch gets an angle, but he doesn't seem like he can.
The black hole just punishes. Thankfully, he has got the mobility, but again, just having to utilize resources on that one. Professors doing such a good job. They are being so proactive here right now. If Slime's Temp are not going to start these objectives, then the Professors will damn well sure they do it. But this one, the Crash Bamboo coming out from Crazy Fall as well. Or Prime hasn't lost that much. It's actually a trap has been laid for the Crash, because Mr. Gumu is going to look for that flight onto Kaiser, who has to blink away from that one. But the damage is down. Reverse the fortune onto 2 members, but the high priority target has already fallen. The Fae is here getting down as much damage as they can, but their team has fallen apart around them, split away, and the Professors are happy to add 4 more kills to their tally.
And it looks like for this game, Slime Time went, all right, fine. We can't get a pick comp. That didn't work, so let's go with a team fight comp and try to beat them at their own game. And it didn't start out terribly. They're getting so split up in these team fights.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how these are actually transpiring. They are so quick, and all of a sudden, it feels like the Professors just unleash their full combo. I still remain the point that was a trap. You know, it's like, oh, they're doing all prime. But then when we saw a glimpse of that health bar, an interesting thing that Predecessor does is that just a vision ward over the top does not reveal the health bar. You have to be within range of the objective to see its health.
Yeah.
And that makes jumping into pits, first of all, much more dangerous, but much more hype when you actually do pull off a steal as well. But you know,
again,
they saw it, they group around, they try and start something up, but then it's like, no, professors were waiting for you, and they turn around.
Again, just different ideas here from the size of it looks like Slime, where they got broken up. You saw towards the end of that fight, we had the facing the back line. Same with Drongo, who just had no protection, right? The Muriel didn't have really vision of the pit, so they can't make the calls, right? As a support mate in my back of my brain, I'm watching the fight and going, bolt her out, bolt her down, yada yada yada. In the backline, on the right, and you're making calls to help assist with the team, to help suggest different things, to give or gather information rather for the IGL, whether it's you or the jungler or whatever, to make that informed decision, that game plan action. But there's no concrete vision of the pit or the objective. The front line was off on the left side, getting pulled apart. The back line got dove immediately, right? As a back line, you need to back farther away. It needs to be the front line's your shield, and you back up as they back up. Right, and that needs
and I do want to take this opportunity to highlight Guru on that Grux. You know, being constantly just hounded by Six and the Sevarog player throughout this entire game, but they got off a massive flank straight into the back line. You saw that the Drongo had to burn everything, had to blink, had to cleanse just to survive. But then the rest of the team follow-up came down. Lovely target priority. Primal Fangtooth will be secured as well. And now the Professors, once again, just like with game number 1, they want to look to take down this base, the inhib, the next target. It goes down to less than a quarter HP. Able to just hit onto Survivor is well and truly online at this point. These inhibs do not matter at all, and this feels like it's going to be a very systematic 100% run and just take down these towers before going to the core.
Yeah, it's this is rough. This is certainly rough, and if they want to hope to win here, they've got to establish a better team fight organization, I want to call it. Right, who puts on what plane or what line, where you are in these fights. Yeah, very sidestep there.
Well, it needs to be at this point here, because it looks like, I do apologize for interrupting.
No worries.
That the Professors, you know, are starting to make the moves, looking for that pick. The Funk comes in at least. A good sidestep though, wasn't able to follow up and keep the CC chain going, but the minions first wave into the core that starts to tick the damage down. Slime Temps do have the advantage. They have a heal behind them at least, but they've got to walk forward. Professors, again, keeping them at arm's distance. 2 inhibs down. The core has taken 10% HP. It's just taking chip damage from the basic attacks. And will they actually commit to this one? Slime Temps, you've got to actually engage here, because the core's down to half HP. You can't allow the chip damage to come through. Someone's going to have to blink. Someone's going to have to move eventually. Another minion wave comes in, and it's going to be Soul Reaper to engage to fight the black hole over the top of the core. And where's the focus? Is it on to Blue Jay? Is it onto the core? They're going to look once again towards Seismic, having to blink back towards base to core the next target. 30% HP. Blue Jay into the back line, but Six is down. At least one member falls. The Sevarog having to retreat as well. The crash, the bang, the boom, the wallop, the knockup from Crazy Fool. The core still chipping away the targets. Just want to pad the stats, but the Professors finally say no more. They will close out the game. They close down the set 2-0 and secure our first grand final spot for them. GG. Well played from both teams there.
Yeah, that was honestly a little upsetting from someone who was hyping up Slime Temps here. At the same time, well done from the Professors. I don't want to take anything away from them. It's not just Slime not playing well. It's Professors pushing the envelope and kicking butt. That was just so well done from them. It really was. And I kudos to them. I can't hope they do good things in the grand final here. We have a great grand final later. This goes to show you guys, if you're going to fight a team fight comp, you need to have a clear team fight. You need to have people who are organized. You need to have a chain of command. You need to have set things up here. And that's something that's super difficult to get good at, but you definitely want to.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take for Slime's Temp, as we did see throughout that game that there was brilliance in this team. They are very good players, evident by everyone. I think Six, especially in that last game on the crunch, that was a lights out performance from him as well. You can see that, Slime's Temp, even though they are down one game, they are still on the front foot, and that is the confidence that you have to take from these teams as well, is that the game is not over. There's still opportunities and still fight back in them. And, even the first game we saw on broadcast with the quadra kill where Team Fader was staring down the barrel of a core takedown, and all of a sudden they find a team fight and boom, they're back into the game. Granted, it didn't go their way, but these moments can happen. It's just teams wanting to grab them by the scruff of the neck and run with it. So there's a lot I think Slime's Temp can take away from that one, a lot of positives as well, but we can't take anything away from the Professors that when they showed up in these games, they really put on a truly dominant display and worthy grand finalists.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, kudos to them, keeping it clear, keeping the what I assume the comms clear, and their just overall vision and what they were looking for out of this game. So well done from Professors. I am so impressed with that. There are things they could have done better for sure. There are things they could have worked on. At the same time, they took fights like this where they maybe lost a bit and kind of fell behind and ended up doing something with it and keeping their head together. Beautifully done.
There's a lot to look forward to here. And I'm pretty sure that the Professors, made up of a team of very well-known players as well throughout the community, are, picked up a few more fans as well from this one. As that's going to do it as we close down our first semi-final. The second semi-final will be coming up very soon after a short break. This one is another hype matchup. The reigning champions versus the EU team. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Yes.